Everyone, life has a way of testing us when we least expect it. It throws challenges our way, knocks us down, and sometimes it feels like the world is watching, waiting to see if we'll stay down. But here's the truth. The most powerful transformations don't happen in the spotlight, they happen in silence. The strongest individuals, the ones who truly rebuild themselves, do so not by shouting about their struggles, but by working tirelessly when no one is watching. They embrace the grind, push through the doubt, and let their actions, not their words, speak for them. Today, I want to talk about mental toughness, about what it takes to rise, to rebuild, and to show the world not through noise, but through undeniable results, what you have become. Because real success isn't about proving people wrong, it's about proving yourself right. Silence is often misunderstood. Many associate it with weakness, hesitation, or a lack of confidence. But in reality, silence is one of the most powerful tools a person can have, especially when it comes to rebuilding oneself. In a world that thrives on constant noise, distractions, and the need for validation, choosing to grow in silence is an act of strength. It requires discipline, patience, and a deep understanding of self-worth. When people go through struggles, their first instinct is often to talk about it. They share their frustrations, seek sympathy, and look for reassurance from others. While there is nothing wrong with seeking support, the problem arises when people become dependent on external validation. The more they talk about what they are going to do, the less they actually do. Words can create a false sense of progress. Talking about change feels like action, but in reality, it is just a placeholder for real effort. Choosing to rebuild in silence eliminates this trap. It forces a person to rely on their own inner strength, rather than the reactions of others. It shifts the focus from how others perceive them to what they are actually doing. This mindset creates a foundation of resilience. When no one is watching, there is no pressure to perform for approval. The work becomes personal. The motivation comes from within, not from the applause or recognition of others. Silence also prevents unnecessary distractions. When a person announces their goals or plans, they invite opinions, some supportive, but many discouraging. People will project their own fears, doubts, and insecurities onto others. They will question the process, offer unsolicited advice, or even try to bring them down. This can create unnecessary mental battles, making the journey even harder than it already is. By staying silent, one avoids these distractions and remains laser-focused on the work that truly matters. Another key advantage of silence is that it allows for deeper self-reflection. Growth is not just about external achievements. It is an internal transformation. In silence, people are able to listen to their own thoughts, understand their weaknesses, and address their fears without outside noise clouding their judgment. They become more in tune with their emotions, their progress, and their true motivations. Instead of seeking direction from the outside world, they start trusting their own instincts. This creates a sense of confidence that is built on real experience rather than external feedback. Silence also fosters humility. When people work in the shadows, they don't become addicted to praise or recognition. They don't feel the need to prove anything to anyone. Instead, they focus on becoming better, stronger, and more capable. This humility keeps them grounded, allowing them to grow without arrogance. It keeps them hungry for progress rather than being satisfied with superficial validation. Discipline thrives in silence. When there is no one to impress, there is no pressure to perform for approval. The work becomes real. There are no shortcuts, no empty promises, just consistent effort. Without the distraction of external validation, people are able to push through difficulties without hesitation. They develop an unshakable work ethic, knowing that their success is entirely in their own hands. The journey of rebuilding is often lonely. Not everyone will understand the process. Some will doubt, some will criticize, and some will walk away. But silence teaches a valuable lesson. Not everyone needs to understand. The only thing that matters is the work being done. The only approval that truly counts is the one earned through action, persistence, and dedication. There is immense power in letting actions speak louder than words. In a society where people are quick to share their ambitions before they have even started, choosing to stay silent and build in the background is a radical act of strength. It separates those who truly grow from those who simply talk about growth. When the results begin to show, they will speak for themselves. No explanations will be needed, no justifications required. The transformation will be evident to all. People have an innate desire to be seen, heard, and validated. It is human nature to seek approval from others, to want reassurance that we are on the right path. From an early age, we are conditioned to associate recognition with success. Praise from parents, good grades in school, and social approval all reinforce the idea that our worth is tied to how others perceive us. This conditioning follows us into adulthood, where many people measure their progress based on external validation rather than internal fulfillment. However, when it comes to rebuilding oneself, seeking approval can become a dangerous distraction. True growth happens when the focus shifts away from external validation and toward internal mastery. People often feel the need to announce their goals, share their struggles, and seek validation for their progress. Social media has amplified this tendency, creating a culture where people share their ambitions before they have even started working toward them. This provides a temporary sense of accomplishment, as if simply declaring an intention is enough to make it real. But words alone do not create change. Actions do. Seeking validation too early in the process can lead to a false sense of progress, tricking the mind into believing that talking about improvement is the same as actually improving. One of the biggest dangers of seeking external validation is that it makes people dependent on approval. When progress is measured by how others react, motivation becomes fragile. If people support and encourage, there is a boost in confidence. But if they criticize, doubt, or fail to acknowledge the effort, it can feel discouraging. Relying on external validation creates an unstable foundation for growth. Real transformation requires consistency, and that consistency must come from within, not from the approval of others. Detaching from external validation allows for true self-discovery. It removes the pressure to perform for an audience and shifts the focus inward. Without the noise of outside opinions, people are free to experiment, to make mistakes, and to grow at their own pace. They stop worrying about how their journey looks to others and start focusing on the reality of their progress. This internal focus fosters genuine confidence, the kind that is not dependent on praise or recognition, but is built on real effort and results. Criticism and doubt are inevitable when someone is on the path to transformation. Not everyone will understand the process. Some people will be skeptical, while others may feel threatened by change. Seeking validation from the wrong sources can lead to unnecessary self-doubt. People may project their own fears, insecurities, and limitations onto those trying to grow. If too much weight is given to outside opinions, it can derail progress before it even begins. When external validation is no longer a priority, negative opinions lose their power. They no longer dictate actions, and they no longer determine self-worth. Detaching from validation also builds resilience. When the need for approval is removed, setbacks and failures become less intimidating. There is no fear of judgment, no pressure to meet unrealistic expectations. Instead of seeing failure as something to be ashamed of, it becomes a natural part of the learning process. Growth is no longer about proving something to others, it is about proving something to oneself. The journey becomes personal, and the drive to improve becomes stronger than the fear of failure. Choosing to focus on internal progress rather than external validation requires discipline. It is easy to fall into the trap of seeking reassurance, but true strength comes from being able to move forward without it. This does not mean shutting people out or rejecting support. It means understanding that validation should never be the driving force behind growth. The most successful people in any field do not succeed because they seek approval. They succeed because they stay committed to their vision, regardless of who is watching. People who detach from external validation often find a deeper sense of fulfillment. When success is measured by internal progress rather than external recognition, there is a greater sense of control. There is no need to wait for applause, no need to prove anything to anyone. The focus remains on the work, on the process, and on continuous self-improvement. Instead of chasing approval, energy is directed toward mastery, discipline, and resilience. Growth is not a single event, but a continuous process. In a world that craves instant results, people often overlook the importance of patience and persistence. There is a tendency to expect immediate success, to want instant transformation, and to seek shortcuts to progress. However, real change does not happen overnight. It is built through consistent effort, small steps, and an unwavering commitment to the process. Those who embrace the journey, rather than rush to the destination, are the ones who experience lasting transformation. The process of rebuilding oneself requires discipline, resilience, and a willingness to endure discomfort. It is easy to be motivated at the beginning, when the excitement of change is fresh and the vision of a better future is clear. But as time passes and progress becomes slow, doubt begins to creep in. This is the moment where most people give up. They believe that if they are not seeing immediate results, they must be failing. In reality, they are simply going through the natural stages of growth. Every meaningful transformation involves struggle, setbacks, and moments of uncertainty. Patience is one of the most underrated qualities in personal growth. People often measure success by external achievements, promotions, financial gains, recognition, but true success starts internally. The internal foundation must be strong before external results appear. This means committing to daily habits, improving little by little, and trusting that the work being done in silence will eventually pay off. Those who embrace the process understand that the journey itself is what builds strength, character, and resilience. They do not rush success. They trust that it will come as a byproduct of their consistent efforts. The biggest breakthroughs often happen in the moments when nothing seems to be working. It is in the quiet struggles, the unseen efforts, and the days when motivation is low that real growth takes place. These moments separate those who are truly committed from those who are only interested in short-term results. Many people start strong but quit when progress slows down. When those who persist through these phases, who continue to work even when there is no visible reward, are the ones who eventually see real transformation. Setbacks are a natural part of the process. They are not signs of failure, but rather opportunities for learning and growth. Every setback provides a lesson, a chance to refine strategies, and an opportunity to develop mental toughness. Instead of fearing failure, those who embrace the process see challenges as stepping stones. They understand that setbacks are not obstacles to success, but part of the journey toward it. The ability to keep moving forward despite difficulties is what ultimately leads to success. Consistency is more important than intensity. Many people believe that transformation requires drastic actions, extreme workouts, sudden lifestyle changes, or overwhelming commitments. While intensity can create quick results, it is not sustainable. What truly leads to lasting change is consistency. Small daily improvements compound over time. A person who improves by just 1% every day will see exponential growth in the long run. The key is not to do everything at once, but to stay committed to the process, no matter how slow it may seem. Embracing the process also means understanding that growth is not linear. There will be times of rapid progress and times of stagnation. There will be moments of clarity and moments of doubt. Some days will feel easy and others will feel impossible. But through it all, those who stay committed, who trust the process even when they cannot see immediate results, are the ones who ultimately succeed. The ability to persist through highs and lows, to keep working in silence without seeking immediate gratification, is what separates those who truly rebuild themselves from those who give up too soon. Discipline plays a crucial role in the process. Motivation is temporary, it comes and goes. Relying on motivation alone is not enough to sustain long-term growth. Discipline, on the other hand, is a choice. It is the ability to show up every day, to do the work even when it is difficult, and to stay committed even when progress is slow. Those who embrace the process understand that discipline is what turns effort into results. They do not wait to feel inspired, they take action regardless of how they feel. This mindset allows them to continue growing even when the journey is challenging. Focusing on the process rather than the outcome creates a deeper sense of fulfillment. When people become too fixated on results, they miss out on the lessons, experiences, and personal growth that happen along the way. True transformation is not just about reaching a goal, but about becoming a stronger, wiser, and more resilient version of oneself. Those who embrace the journey rather than rush through it develop a mindset that prepares them for long-term success. Life is full of unexpected challenges, setbacks, and obstacles. Every person will face moments of difficulty that test their patience, resilience, and inner strength. When adversity strikes, the natural reaction is often to become defensive, to react emotionally, or to seek immediate solutions. However, true strength lies not in reacting impulsively, but in responding with resilience. Resilience is the ability to endure hardships, adapt to change, and continue moving forward despite difficulties. It is not about avoiding struggles, but about facing them with a mindset that turns challenges into opportunities for growth. People often waste energy reacting to situations they cannot control. They get frustrated, complain, or dwell on their circumstances. While these responses are natural, they do not lead to progress. Instead, they drain mental and emotional energy, making it harder to focus on solutions. Those who develop resilience understand that challenges are a part of life. They do not let obstacles define them or break their spirit. Instead of reacting with frustration, they take a step back, assess the situation, and respond with intention. They focus on what they can control rather than what they cannot. Resilience is built through experience. No one is born mentally tough. It is a skill developed through perseverance. Every setback, every failure, and every difficult moment is an opportunity to strengthen resilience. Those who embrace hardship rather than resist it become stronger with each challenge they overcome. They learn to navigate difficulties with a level head, refusing to let temporary struggles shake their long-term vision. Instead of seeing obstacles as roadblocks, they view them as stepping stones, each one bringing them closer to their goals. One of the most powerful aspects of resilience is the ability to remain calm under pressure. When faced with adversity, many people panic or make impulsive decisions. They allow stress and fear to dictate their actions, often making situations worse. Resilient individuals, on the other hand, cultivate emotional control. They understand that reacting emotionally does not change the situation. Instead of letting emotions take over, they pause, reflect, and make decisions based on logic and purpose. This ability to remain composed allows them to navigate difficulties with clarity and confidence. Resilience also involves shifting focus from problems to solutions. It is easy to dwell on what is wrong, to feel overwhelmed by challenges, and to become stuck in a cycle of negativity. But those who are mentally tough train their minds to look for solutions rather than excuses. They approach obstacles with a problem-solving mindset, asking themselves what they can do to move forward rather than fixating on what went wrong. This shift in perspective transforms difficulties into opportunities for learning and growth. Setbacks and failures are inevitable, but resilient individuals do not let them define their journey. They understand that failure is not a reflection of their worth or potential, but simply a part of the learning process. Instead of fearing failure, they use it as feedback. They analyze their mistakes, adjust their strategies, and move forward with greater knowledge and experience. This ability to learn from failure without letting it break them is a defining characteristic of resilience. Resilient people also know the importance of endurance. Growth takes time, and setbacks often slow progress. But those who remain committed to their goals despite difficulties are the ones who ultimately succeed. They do not allow short-term failures to derail their long-term vision. Instead of giving up when faced with obstacles, they push through with determination. They understand that progress is not always visible, but consistency and perseverance will eventually lead to results. Developing resilience also requires self-awareness. Understanding personal triggers, emotions, and thought patterns allows individuals to manage stress more effectively. Those who take the time to reflect on their reactions and identify areas for improvement can build stronger mental habits. They train themselves to shift their mindset from reactive to proactive, from emotional to strategic. This self-awareness allows them to approach challenges with confidence, knowing that they have control over their responses. Another key element of resilience is adaptability. Life is unpredictable, and rigid thinking often leads to frustration when things do not go as planned. Resilient individuals embrace change rather than resist it. They understand that obstacles may require them to adjust their approach, rethink their strategies, or even take an entirely new path. Instead of seeing change as a threat, they view it as an opportunity for growth. Their ability to adapt ensures that no matter what challenges arise, they are prepared to handle them with flexibility and determination. Building resilience is not about avoiding struggles, but about developing the strength to face them without fear. It is about responding to adversity with clarity, endurance, and a problem-solving mindset. Those who master resilience do not let difficulties define them or dictate their actions. Instead, they use challenges as fuel for growth, continuously strengthening their ability to persevere through anything life throws their way. Actions define who a person truly is. In a world where words are used freely, promises are made without commitment, and declarations of change are common, it is easy to mistake talk for progress. However, real growth is not measured by what is said, but by what is done. People often feel the need to explain themselves, to announce their intentions, or to justify their actions to others. But true transformation does not require an audience. It requires discipline, consistency, and effort. Those who understand this principle choose to let their actions speak louder than their words. There's a psychological trap in constantly talking about what one is going to do. Verbalizing goals can create a false sense of accomplishment. The brain registers the discussion of plans as a step toward progress, making it feel as though something has already been achieved. This illusion of productivity can reduce the urgency to take real action. People who repeatedly share their ambitions but fail to follow through often find themselves stuck in a cycle of empty promises. Meanwhile, those who remain silent and focused on execution make steady progress without distraction. Success does not come from external validation, but from the quiet work done behind the scenes. It is built in the moments of discipline when no one is watching, in the hours of practice that go unnoticed, and in the persistence that continues despite obstacles. Those who achieve the most are not the ones who constantly announce their efforts. They are the ones who simply do the work. They understand that results speak for themselves, and that true change is evident without explanation. One of the most effective ways to earn respect is through consistency. People remember what is done far more than what is said. A person who consistently shows up, puts in the work, and delivers results gains credibility. In contrast, someone who frequently talks about their goals but fails to act loses trust over time. Actions build a reputation that words alone cannot sustain. Those who let their results speak for them do not need to seek approval because their accomplishments naturally command respect. In today's world, there is an overwhelming pressure to showcase progress. Social media has amplified the tendency to share every milestone, struggle, and aspiration. While there is nothing wrong with celebrating achievements, constantly seeking validation can become a distraction. It shifts the focus from personal growth to external approval. The most successful individuals do not work for applause. They work because they are committed to their vision. They do not need to prove anything to anyone because their results will do that for them. The power of silence in action is often underestimated. When a person moves in silence, there is no external pressure, no unnecessary distractions, and no need to meet the expectations of others. This allows for pure focus. The journey becomes about personal fulfillment rather than social recognition. Working in silence also minimizes interference from negativity. When goals are shared too soon, they invite opinions, some supportive, but many discouraging. People project their own fears and doubts onto others, creating unnecessary obstacles. By choosing to act rather than talk, a person shields themselves from these influences and stays committed to their path. Actions create momentum. The more a person does, the more confidence they build. Small, daily efforts compound over time, leading to significant progress. Talking about plans does not generate this momentum. Only execution does. A person who takes action, even in small ways, is far ahead of someone who spends time explaining what they intend to do. Progress is built through movement, not discussion. Those who understand this principle waste no time in proving themselves with words. They focus entirely on proving themselves through their work. Resilience is also developed through action. Challenges, failures, and setbacks are inevitable, but how a person responds to them determines their growth. Talking about overcoming struggles does not make someone stronger. Facing and working through them does. The strongest individuals are those who endure difficulties without making excuses. They take responsibility for their progress and refuse to be defined by obstacles. Instead of explaining their struggles, they focus on overcoming them, knowing that their success will tell the story in the end. The moment of transformation is not when success is finally recognized, but in the quiet, unseen efforts that led to it. The true journey of self-rebuilding happens long before anyone notices the change. It is in the late nights of effort, the early mornings of discipline, and the countless moments of struggle that a person reshapes themselves. This is why the most powerful way to prove oneself is not through words, but through results. When the time is right, the progress made in silence becomes undeniable. The world does not need to be told what has changed, it will see it. The desire to prove something to others is often rooted in doubt. Many people feel the need to justify their growth, to show those who doubted them that they were wrong, or to seek approval for the effort they have put in. But true self-rebuilding is not about proving others wrong. It is about proving oneself right. The strongest individuals are not those who work for recognition, but those who work because they are committed to their vision. They understand that their transformation is not for show, it is for themselves. Real change cannot be hidden forever. When someone dedicates themselves to growth, when they consistently put in the work and refine themselves, the results begin to show in every aspect of their life. Confidence becomes natural, strength becomes evident, and skills sharpen to a point where they cannot be ignored. The way a person carries themselves changes, their energy shifts, their discipline reflects in their achievements. Without having to say a word, their transformation becomes clear to everyone around them. Those who doubted or underestimated them will eventually take notice. Some may act surprised, while others may pretend they never doubted at all. But by the time they realize what has happened, the work has already been done. The foundation has been built, the struggles have been overcome, and the transformation is complete. At this stage, there is no need for explanations or justifications. The results speak louder than anything that could be said. The best way to make an impact is not through seeking attention, but through undeniable progress. People respect what they cannot ignore. When someone consistently improves, their actions command recognition without the need for validation. This is why the most successful individuals do not waste time explaining themselves or trying to prove anything prematurely. They stay focused, they remain disciplined, and they allow their work to be their voice. Patience plays a key role in this process. Many people feel tempted to showcase their progress too soon, to seek approval before their transformation is fully realized. But the strongest individuals understand that there is power in restraint. They wait until their growth is undeniable before revealing it. They allow their skills, discipline, and success to develop to a level where no one can question their journey. When the time comes, they do not need to say a word because their progress speaks for itself. Success is not just about what is gained, but about who a person becomes in the process. It is about the mental strength built through struggles, the resilience developed through setbacks, and the confidence earned through consistent effort. The greatest reward of personal transformation is not in proving others wrong, but in realizing one's own potential. The realization that everything needed for success was always within is the ultimate form of victory. The world notices discipline. It notices those who rise above challenges without complaining, those who work in silence without seeking validation, and those who emerge stronger without the need for recognition. This is why the most powerful statement a person can make is through action. The transformation will be seen in the results, in the way a person moves, in the way they carry themselves. By the time people realize what has happened, the journey has already been completed. There is nothing left to prove, only results to show.